and Android.
The mayor says although there were no reported fatalities, cleanup crews are still busy cleaning up the damages. I'm Lonnie Walton in Carl Junction. I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, Miami roads reopen after flooding, but park areas remain underwater. The mayor's concerns about dam releases. And more work crews hit the roads as temperatures rise. Why officials say your attention behind the wheel could save lives.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A suspect shot by a Jasper County officer involved in a shooting has died. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The suspect, 43-year-old Gavin Newton, was hospitalized after the April 13th incident. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office today released that Newton died in the hospital over the weekend due to injuries. The incident happened on County Road 70. According to authorities, 2 Jasper County deputies responded to a domestic disturbance in progress. They got there and encountered Newton, who had a knife. According to the sheriff's office, the deputies ordered him to the ground, but he charged at them. After deploying tasers twice with no effect, one deputy fired his weapon, striking Newton. Authorities say the deputies administered medical aid until EMS arrived. They were put on administrative leave, which is protocol, until the Missouri Highway Patrol finishes its investigation. The Jasper County Prosecutor's Office had charged Newton with domestic assault and assault on a law enforcement officer. He was in custody under guard at the hospital. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for our first look at the weather.
Well, temperatures today got into the low 70s. You can see sunny skies all day long. It was a beautiful day following our intense amount of rainfall that we saw over the weekend. You can see south of Manette near the Cassville area, Pineville area, saw about 10 inches of rain. So south of I-44 saw the most amount of rainfall. Now, out in the northwest, only about 2 inches. Now, Pittsburgh area to Joplin, we were seeing about 4 to 7 inches of rain. So we've had quite a bit of rainfall. We're still in a flood warning until Tuesday morning in southwestern Missouri, and then flood advisory extend for the rest of southwestern Missouri and a few counties right along the southeastern Kansas border. So we do have that continuing until Tuesday morning, however, might get extended. Outside of that, a few clouds moving in, but temperatures are warming back up into the low 80s tomorrow with sunny skies, so hopefully getting a chance to dry out before we start to see our next chance of rain Tuesday night. I'm going to have those details coming up.
See you soon. The residents of Carl Junction, Missouri are cleaning up the debris from heavy winds that tore through town yesterday. We don't have any reports of serious injuries, but as Lonnie Walton reports, the storm was an experience some residents will never forget.
I met a local resident who says when those winds started picking up, that's when she took her and her children over here to Carl Junction High School to hide in their storm shelter. She says even though she was safe, it was a very frightening experience.
All the damage over at the track, we were there as all of that was hitting the fence and flying towards us as we were running into the school.
Katie Privet works for Carl Junction School District. She says she was at home, but when she heard the sirens, she knew her house was not built for a storm.
Our house is designed very weird, so there's not a central area. It's all just a big circle with nothing on the middle, so there's not really a safe space.
Rocky Harris was alone with his 16-year-old daughter, and then
the phone went off. The Doug Hetty KOAM app, it went off to tell me to take cover, and we went and jumped in.
And that probably was a good idea. Harris and his daughter Marissa say on their way to the outdoor shelter, it looked like a swamp.
The whole yard was just like a mess. There's water everywhere. So we just kind of ran in there and didn't look back.
Carl Junction's Mayor Mike Moss says, yes, there was damage, but everyone is safe.
No loss of life that we know of, which I praise God that didn't happen.
And the residents agree.
Just a little aftermath, nothing too terrible that we can't take care of.
Oh yeah, that's number one. Everything can be replaced, lives can't.
We're just gonna go start helping everybody else today.
And although there were no serious injuries, residents tell me the community really pulled together in a time of need. Reporting in Carl Junction, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The city administrator of Carl Junction also wanted to extend his gratitude toward people in the surrounding area for their help in the recovery process. Help continues coming into Barton County, Missouri, as residents clean up there. The Red Cross also got to town today. The emergency management there says they set up in the lobby at the Theobald Auditorium with tarps, cleanup kits, and other supplies. Workers are also there to help assess any property damage to see if financial help is available. Much of the damage there was to power lines and trees. Officials also ask folks to keep an eye on social media for updates on how volunteers can sign up to help. We have more information on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Oklahoma residents have been dealing with several flooded roads, but most, if not all, are now back open. One concern moving forward, however, is the Riverview Park area. The park itself is still flooded. And while the Grand River Dam Authority is releasing some water, the mayor, Bless Parker, is concerned they're not releasing enough right now.
GRDA, not being accountable to their license, has forced that into a flood zone. We have a fire station right over here. No way the state would let us build a fire station in a flood zone. It's been forced into a flood zone. NEO A&M Junior College, there's no way the state would have built that in a flood zone. It's now in a flood zone because GRDA doesn't follow their license. State Highway 125, which is behind us, goes underwater. The state wouldn't have built a state highway in a flood zone without building it up out of a floodway. They built it where they did because it wasn't in a flood zone.
The city and a group of Miami property owners have an ongoing lawsuit against the GRDA, claiming policies surrounding the dam have contributed to repetitive flooding in Miami. As weather warms in our area, keep your eye out for an increasing number of road crews. To that point, MoDOT kicked off Work Zone Awareness Week with an event in Joplin today. The department joined with the Missouri Highway Patrol at the Joplin Regional Office to bring awareness to work zone safety, not just in terms of fines for drivers, but more importantly, the potential loss of life.
Whatever traffic violation that has a base fine, and then it's enhanced by the fact that there's workers present, which is an automatic $250 on top of the base fine. You know, at the end of the day, there's no fine amount high enough or prison sentence long enough, honestly, for if you aren't paying attention and you take away somebody's life because of inattention.
In 2024, 23 people were killed in Missouri work zone crashes. Distracted driving contributed to at least 4 of those fatalities, as well as more than 350 work zone crashes overall. MoDOT hopes this week of awareness will go a long way to reducing those numbers. A couple of area high school baseball teams heat up the diamond today. John Dales has highlights of Webb City and Fort Scott coming up in sports, but first.
The Joplin City Council to discuss the future of the old Freeman building on South Sargent. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Hop in and win this spring by the Center for the Arts.
Well, we had a very eventful weekend following some severe weather and flooding, but today was beautiful. You can take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Mostly sunny skies all day. Temperatures reached low 70s, and we're right on par for where we should be this time of year. Our low in the upper 40s, our high in the low 70s. But over the next couple of days, we're going to continue to warm up. Hopefully, that will help our flooding in the areas. We've got flood warnings still in effect in southwestern Missouri and flood advisories across southwest Missouri and into southeastern Kansas as well until tomorrow morning, but that might get extended based on how some of the flooding is still ongoing. Now, we've got a few clouds kind of pushing into the area, but we're mostly going to see sunny skies through the rest of the evening and into tomorrow as well. Temperatures are falling down through the 60s and into the upper 50s for our overnight low, and then we have temperatures reaching low 80s tomorrow, so it's going to be very warm, very sunny, a beautiful day, and again, another chance to dry out from all the rain we've seen. However, late tomorrow night, this is going to be after about 9 p.m., we have the chance to see, you can see low risk, very low risk for severe weather, just clipping a couple of our counties. And that's going to be an isolated storm, maybe moving through late Tuesday night into overnight Wednesday. And then we have isolated showers on Wednesday, but limited severe threat there as well. Throughout most of the week, we're not going to see a lot of severe weather, but maybe some isolated showers and thunderstorms. So let's take a look. Tuesday afternoon, we're going to see these clouds starting to push in. Temperatures reaching, again, upper 70s, low 80s. There goes our little isolated storm. Kind of pushes in through Wichita, just north of Yates Center. So we might get a little bit over there in the far northwestern counties, but the rest of us are going to stay dry. This is overnight. Then we're heading into Wednesday morning. We get a few of these showers kind of popping up into Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas. Then it's going to continue to move north, and then we are mostly dry, especially on the Missouri and Arkansas side. Then heading into Thursday morning, you can see all these showers and thunderstorms start to push in. We do have the chance to see some widespread thunderstorms on Thursday. It's going to be not a severe threat, but widespread rain pushing in Thursday into early Friday morning, and then it all clears out to the south by noon on Friday. However, more chances kind of spark back up Friday night into Saturday. Widespread thunderstorms on Saturday, scattered storms, and then we have Saturday night and into Sunday. And we could see some strong storms Saturday night into Sunday, and then through Sunday early afternoon. Not as of right now, not a severe threat yet either, but those chances do continue. Isolated storms still continuing Monday, scattered storms on Tuesday. Though again, we do have limited severe threat through the rest of this week and into the weekend. Greatest chance for stronger storms is going to be Saturday night and into Sunday. But still, we've had a lot of flooding across the area. So any additional chance of rain isn't great, but it is good. We're not seeing a severe threat, and it's not widespread throughout the next 7 days.
Yeah, we got our fill of that already,
as
we do every year. But we really don't need any more rain for at least a little while.
No, I agree.
Thanks. Still ahead, Fort Scott High School baseball travels across state lines to face Webb City, and a high school basketball standout from Galena commits to the Gorillas. John Dales has those stories and more for us coming up next.
You are more than
Goodbye limits, hello possibilities.
We're over a month into the high school baseball season here in the 4 states, and in Kansas Class 4A, Fort Scott is quickly emerging as a contender to make a deep postseason run. The Tigers, they're off to a 12-2 start through their first 14 games. Fort Scott High School baseball travels across state lines to face Webb City, who's 7-8 so far this year. The Cardinals waste no time getting things started at the plate. Bottom of the first, 1 out, and Carson Myers hits a frozen rope into center for a base hit. A batter later, Brock Renfro at the plate, and he hammers one into the gap in right center. That gets down and rolls a good amount of ways. Myers will score the first run of the game. Webb City up 1-0 on the RBI double. Later in that inning, Mason Young sends it through the hole between first and second into right. Renfro scores. It's 2-0 Cardinals. Now we go to the second. Luke Beverlin rips this past the diving attempt to the third baseman into left. Myers around third, and he scores his second run of the contest. That puts Webb City up 5-0. Cardinals ride that hot start to a shutout victory. They take down Fort Scott 7-0. Well, the offseason has been eventful for Pittsburgh State men's basketball. After getting knocked out of the MIAA tournament in the semifinals, the Conference Player of the Year, Jordan Freisen, announced he'd enter the transfer portal with the opportunity to return to PSU. But this weekend, Freisen announces on social media he won't be coming back to the Gorillas. He's committed to Chattanooga, who plays at the Division I level and won the NIT earlier this month. Freisen is a native of Memphis, Tennessee, so this not only is his chance to play at the Division I level, but also a move closer to home. In his sophomore season at Pitt State, Freisen averaged over 18 points and 6 assists per game while shooting 50% from the field. But earlier this morning, Pittsburgh State men's basketball picks up a big-time local commit. Galena High School senior Jack Perry announces on social media that he is committed to the Gorillas. Perry was named the 3A Player of the Year by Sports in Kansas while averaging 22 points and 8 rebounds per game. The 6'3 senior helped lead Galena to an undefeated regular season and a 4th place finish at the state tournament in Hutchinson. And we'll close things out with a look at Major League Baseball. Royals off today after losing 3 out of 4 to the Tigers. Cardinals are coming off a series sweep to the Mets, where they've now lost 4 in a row. Tonight, they start a series against the Braves in Atlanta. Things have been pretty rough for them so far this season. Atlanta off to an 8-13 start, which is last place in the NL East. And just a couple days into the season, their left fielder, Jurickson Profar, was suspended for 80 games after testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Back to that college basketball news. Big pickup for the Gorillas today in Perry. He's one of those guys a little bit under-recruited. We were thinking whoever does give him a shot is going to be grateful they did so, and it turns out to be Pitt State.
Every team in college level certainly is always reloading. It looks like they've got a winner here. We'll be right back.
Original Steak Burger.
Foster, a four-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. Now, we told you the Joplin City Council at this moment is considering plans to demolish the old Freeman Hospital building. Well, we're going to have the latest for you. Plus, Carthage schools receive a hefty donation to expand the snack pack program. And after the storms, often comes the insurance claim. What you need to know to file that insurance. Those stories, a lot more. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Newmac Electric made a stop at the Joplin High School today. The cooperative donated 2 one-rope bridge poles to the JROTC. Both old poles needed to be replaced. Representatives of Newmac joined members of the Joplin JROTC, JHS, and Franklin Tech for that donation. The weather looking okay for at least another day or a bit more.
Yeah, we got about 2 days before we're going to start to see real rain chances across the area. We've got isolated storm chances in the far northwest tomorrow night after a warm day, and then isolated chances on Wednesday, more widespread later in the week.
Final sports note.
The NBA playoffs continue tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they've got the night off after winning by 51 points in their playoff opener yesterday.
Thunder's been rolling. See you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.